Okay, so I've got a show up here. It's talking about units of automobiles, specifically hybrids, sold over a period of time. It's a chart and a few other things involved. And for our purposes, it's less about charts and more about just hyperlinking and other things we can do with slides. So let's take a look at it really quick. Some of it's automated, some of it's on click. We'll just play with it here a minute. Let me get it started. We better get it selected if we're going to do that. And so we're just talking about units sold by brand. We've got some effects that simply say, okay, we've got the Prius coming on at 40,000 units, Civic 6,000 units. You can see what's going on as the pie slice comes on. Basically, a button at the bottom of the slide comes on to identify the brand. We're going to use those buttons down the road in just a moment here to actually go out and take a look at market share as well, because from this particular slide it's hard to tell what individual market shares are. We are looking at units sold, and we can certainly tell that the Prius owns the market. However, from the slideshow, but we don't really know what the market share is. So we bring in the market share, and this is where we start to hyperlink. And so we say, okay, how much is the Accord? How much is the Accord's market share? So I'm just going to click on the Accord button, and it's going to pop me out to a slide. Hyperlinks me out to a slide, and if I click on anywhere in here, we've set this so that it hyperlinks back to the front slide, or this first slide, this slide we started from, so to speak. And we can do that over and over and over again, finding, oh, let's see what the Highlander's doing, etc. So we've set up a couple of hyperlinks. One is from the button to the slide that shows the individual market share, and then when we hit that slide we have to have a way back to the slide we initiated the action from, and we simply do that with another hyperlink back to the first object. Now all of that's kind of interesting. Let me move on. I'm going to say that we're on this slide. We want to get beyond all the market share slides, and we just want to see the next slide, visible slide in the show, which is this one called Future Technologies. And so we're using this, we've used some slides in between. I'm going to kind of flip through these pretty quick because I want to get on down the road, sort of beyond this section of the show, and into some other features. Kind of wish we kind of wanted to show the whole show, but of course on limited times we don't. So then we get back here and we have another slide that holds additional information that allows us to link using a hyperlink to outside information. So in the first case we're doing inside information, and in this case we're linking out to a web page to add to our show. And it just brings open Internet Explorer and to that web link page. I'm going to go ahead and close out of this and exit my show. Now if you look over here on the left side, you'll notice that my all of my these slides that are the market share slides, let me just resize this a little bit, that the market share slides are like grayed out, they're unavailable. And you'll also notice, if you can see it, that there's a line through the slide number. What's going on there is that I've hidden those slides. I've hidden them so that they don't show during the normal course of the slideshow. If you're not clicking on one of these things and you advance to the next slide from slide 1 in this particular show is all the way down here to slide number 11. It's the next visible slide in the show. So we are only exposing the slides we want everybody to see, no matter how they view this show, and we're hiding those slides that we're hyperlinking to in this case to emphasize some certain information. So with that in mind, we'll take a look at sort of how to accomplish some of that stuff in part 2 of this series. Thanks for listening.